Hi, this is Zach Glass, and this is video journal number 3 for BPT 110, where I'll be discussing and describing the challenges of current broadcast television stations and how these stations will adjust and remain operational in the current environment. Let me start with the challenges. The biggest challenge is the growth of streaming services: Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus now. They are all growing at an alarming rate. And every day they grow bigger. Cable and broadcasting, traditional broadcasting companies lose subscribers and lose viewers, and that means lost revenue for them. So they're trying to keep up with those companies, and they're going to have to make some quick, rapid, effective changes to keep up with them. Another challenge is the streaming services that I just mentioned are all starting to produce high production quality original content, and a lot of it. Netflix is putting original content out at an alarming rate. They have new things every day almost, from documentaries to comedy specials. They've got it all. They got original sitcoms, original dramas, original movies. They got everything you could think of that they own the rights to, and they produce themselves. Hulu's doing that as well. Hulu's a little different because they are kind of tied in with the broadcasting companies. Fox, ABC, and NBC own Hulu, so that's kind of one of the ways that they're trying to keep up, but they're nowhere close to Netflix or Amazon for that matter. Amazon's starting to produce some really high quality content. Another large challenge is broadcaster like HBO and CBS, and well, not CBS, but HBO in particular is the one that I want to focus on, but other channels are doing it as well. Showtime and Stars also are producing their own streaming services where they're moving all of their content to an online platform, and they're creating specific content just for that platform that will not air on the regular HBO that you pay for with your cable or satellite subscription. So that's another curveball that just recently came their way, and they got to figure out what they're going to do about that. Because honestly, HBO could stand alone with their HBO Max subscribers in the future probably, without even having to rely on cable and satellite to offer their subscription. Another big challenge is the younger generations. I'm 30. So I grew up with cable and friends that had satellite, so I have cable. But go to the kids that are just entering college right now, they're 18. Their parents could potentially be only 10 years older than me. So here in about 10 more years, when these kids that are in college now are having babies, those children may not ever even see a cable box or a satellite dish on their house. So it's a erosion almost of people that aren't grandfathered into cable or satellite anymore. It's slow right now, but it'll become rapid very soon. That's a big issue they're going to be having, because people like me, I have cable because I've always had cable, but as we go on, that's going to be less and less of a thing, because most people younger than me, they don't rely on cable or satellite or local broadcasters for content like I did growing up. So definitely will become a problem. The last challenge I want to discuss is live sports, which has been a cornerstone for these broadcasters, especially the local NBC, ABC, and Fox. They've pretty much had the stranglehold on that. But very recently, YouTube TV has crossed that threshold and started airing live sporting events. I watched an Atlanta Braves baseball game on YouTube last week. Didn't know that existed. It was on YouTube, and that popped up. My number one suggestion was Atlanta Braves versus the Miami Marlins. I watched the whole game on YouTube, and it's never been available in my lifetime on a streaming service. That's always been something that Fox Sports has had, or TBS. It was very odd, and it was very well done. I couldn't find many flaws. They had big name commentators, And that really opened my eyes that these streaming services are well on their way to breaking that ceiling of live sports, which has been tough for them to get into. Now let's talk about the adjustments they could be making quickly here. I know I'm taking up some time. They need to begin to offer streaming services included in the subscription. Say I have Spectrum. I'm paying a blank amount for Spectrum. For that blank amount, what they could do is include a Netflix, a Hulu, an Amazon Prime subscription along with my subscription to Spectrum. It's blanket. It's included. It's rolled in. Therefore, I'm getting more bang for my buck. I don't know how they would be able to work that. If it might be impossible, but I think that would be a pretty cool idea for them to explore. That would help keep subscriptions high and keep people from having to, worry about, well, let me just get internet through Spectrum and then I will pay my $10 for Netflix, $10 for Hulu, $10 for Amazon, and $10 to Disney Plus. That adds up to like $40, $50 when you add all these other ones up. If you just throw that in, bundle that in with your Spectrum subscription, people might just, keep their cable, and then, they'll still have cable, but then they'll have all this other stuff, and they'll feel like they're saving money, and that means a lot to people, especially with subscriptions and stuff like that these days. Another adjustment that I think would be great is to make it a priority to keep live sports on network television, on cable television. That's the main reason why I personally have cable. I follow quite a few sports teams, and the only way I can watch them is through a cable subscription. I have been waiting for them to transition, because I'd probably cut the cord if live sports were available through streaming services. I can assure you that would play a big part in me cutting the cord. They also need to keep the local news and not let it go, because once the local news stations are available through streaming services, it's over. It's over. They need to allow subscribers to tailor channel lineups for themselves. Me and my wife, we watch the sports channels. She watches Bravo, E, and stuff like that. We probably only watch less than 20 channels, but we have 200, I think. We don't need all those channels, and we don't need to pay for all those channels. And if they let us whittle that down to what we use and then adjust our monthly rate to match that, that would be a game changer. And they really need to look into that. They really do. Because you lose somebody that's paying $1.50 a month because they don't want all these extra channels, when you could still keep them at $60, $70 a month. Times that by millions, you're going to keep your business, rather than lose that $1.50 a month and then lose that times millions. You're going to lose your business even faster. The last tip I would have, or last thing I think adjustment they could make, would be to switch from a block live TV schedule, the TV guide schedule, and just start having these channels and these networks just stream everything. The new season of, I don't know, Young Sheldon. I don't watch a whole lot of network sitcoms or anything, but say the new season of Young Sheldon, when it comes out, it drops all at once. It's not a week-to-week thing. And you can go on to I think that's CBS. I think that's a CBS show. Let's say it's a CBS show. You go on your CBS app that's offered through your subscription, and you can watch all the episodes at once, like the Netflix model. And you can pay a little extra to have that without commercials. And that's just, these are the things they need to look into to stay relevant, to stay afloat. Otherwise, in 10 years, it's all going to be streaming. These are all going to be a thing of the past. The streaming services will have found a way to have all the live sports available that people want. They will have figured out a way to keep local news or create new local news options on their own. And that's the right and the left leg right now. There's only two legs they're standing on. It's live sports and local news. So without that, I'm about to hit 10 minutes here. I know you got other videos to watch. Thank you so much. I'll see you in class.